Everyone is different, and learners are no exception. When you personalize your instruction to create options, you allow your students' differences to shine. While collectively your students are all on the same creative learning journey in your course, as the instructor, you have the opportunity to ensure that all students can be successful. Personalized learning looks and feels flexible and authentic for all students. It encourages student choice and independent thinking. It's responsive to students' learning needs, lives, and identities. And it allows multiple avenues to student success. This is the case with all forms of learning, but it's even more important in a creative course. In each stage of your instruction design, consider the following things: what students learn, where they learn and demonstrate learning, how they come to learn, how they demonstrate learning, and how they can revisit and bolster knowledge or skills. Designing for differentiation doesn't need to be hard, it just needs to be purposeful. Imagine a final essay about using suspense in a literature class. You can boost personalization by encouraging students to choose from a long list of texts. You can create materials and spaces for students to learn content, knowledge, or skills inside or outside of class, and share their final projects with a live presentation or as a digital gallery submission. If an instructor sees their students getting stuck learning to interview each other in class, they might let students go off campus and interview family, friends, or community members outside of class. You can give students opportunities to collaborate or work on their own, use video or audio, or have extra time. These options create lots of ways for different learners to reach their destination. Let's hear from some educators who've developed similar techniques to differentiate and personalize instruction in their creative classrooms.
When it comes to creativity, I think allowing students to make choices about what tools they use and how they use their voice and how they tell their story is crucial. It gives them a playground, it encourages them to take risks, and quite frankly, it helps them learn how to fail up.
In my teaching, I don't feel that it's so much that I allow for or encourage personal choice as that I mandate it. That I'm not setting out to teach a course that has a definite endpoint, but is instead a kind of intersection of all of the varying interests and tastes and choices that students in the class will make in context with the materials that I've chosen.
When you are helping students be creative in a classroom, you still want to make sure that all of their individual needs are being met. And you can do this by taking a look at the process and identifying moments that you know a differentiated support would really help that individual students. When it comes to creative activities, I always think of graphic organizers, outlines, mind maps, brainstorming, and collaborative partners as an important part of that process.
I strive to create environments where there are plenty of options, no matter how students like to learn. For example, when I was the Director of Digital Learning Initiatives at USC Annenberg, for the students that were very hands-on, we had a makerspace. For students that were visual learners, there was a plethora of online tutorials. And for those students that really want to learn one-on-one, my door is always open.
So being really clear and consistent with my communication, being very organized, making sure that all of my materials are in one place where students can get to it, that they are visually appealing, and so on and so forth. So there's no kind of lost information or added cognitive load to communicating. The second piece of that is asking them to communicate with me kind of a lot, making sure that I'm available to them and that I want to hear from, letting them know that I want to hear from them when stuff is going well, when stuff is not going well, when they have a question, if they just want to stop by and chat, that my door is kind of open to them.
In a creative environment, you might give students choice on topics that they explore, and you might also give them choices on how they share what it is that they've learned, whether they use audio or video or text, images, they design something new, or they curate resources from a variety of places. They can get creative in a lot of different ways.